Imagine this, Padre Pio walking down a monastery hallway. Then he stops, abruptly. He bows deeply and profoundly. The other brothers with him are confused, utterly baffled. There's no one there. The hallway is completely empty. But for Padre Pio, it wasn't. He had just crossed paths with the guardian angel of one of the brothers, and he showed that celestial being the respect he would give any distinguished visitor. This scene, it wasn't a one-time occurrence. It played out countless times throughout Padre Pio's life. He saw guardian angels as clearly as he saw people of flesh and blood. And what he revealed about these heavenly protectors, about what happens when we ignore them, it could completely transform how you understand your own spiritual journey. Padre Pio didn't just see angels. He communicated with them. He sent messages through them. He received information that would otherwise be impossible to obtain. His relationship with the angelic realm was as natural as his connection to the human world. But what saddened Padre Pio, what truly saddened him, was how many people lived completely unaware of their guardian angel's presence. How many missed the signs, the warnings, the gentle inspirations that these celestial beings constantly send, and he saw the consequences of this ignorance in a way that few could comprehend. Over the next few minutes, you're going to discover what Padre Pio revealed about guardian angels, how they try to connect with us, what happens when we turn a deaf ear, and how you can begin to recognize your own guardian angel's presence starting today. From childhood, Padre Pio had a special bond with angels. He recounted that as a boy, he assumed everyone saw angels as he did. He would play with his guardian angel as he would with any friend. They would talk, laugh together, and the angel shielded him from the perilous mischief that all children get into. It was only as he grew older that Padre Pio realized this experience wasn't typical, that most people didn't see their angels, that they lived alongside these celestial beings without ever noticing them. And that grieved him deeply. When he became a priest, Padre Pio made guardian angels a central theme of his ministry. He taught about them constantly. He encouraged people to cultivate that relationship. And he used his own extraordinary gift to help people understand what their angels were trying to tell them. There was a peculiar practice in San Giovanni Rotondo. When someone couldn't go in person, Padre Pio would tell them to send their guardian angel. "Send your angel to visit me," he'd say. And he received these angelic visits as he would flesh and blood pilgrims. He knew who had sent the angel and what their request was, without anyone telling him a thing. Padre Pio had a saying that he often repeated to his spiritual children: "If you only knew how many times your guardian angel has saved your life, you would weep with gratitude." This statement wasn't just poetic, it was literal. Padre Pio saw, with his mystical sight, the constant interventions of guardian angels in people's lives. Accidents averted by split seconds, disastrous decisions prevented by sudden insights, dangerous encounters avoided by seemingly chance circumstances. There was a businessman who regularly came to San Giovanni Rotondo. He traveled frequently for work. One day, before a business trip, he went to confession with Padre Pio. At the end of the confession, Padre Pio said something unexpected. "Thank your guardian angel when you return. He will be working very hard on this trip." The man didn't understand, but he remembered the words. During the trip, there were 3 situations where he narrowly escaped serious accidents. Once, he felt an inexplicable urge to change lanes on the highway, seconds before a truck lost control exactly where he had been. Another time, he missed a train that later derailed. And a third time, a last-minute cancellation prevented him from being in a building that caught fire. When he returned to San Giovanni Rotondo, he told Padre Pio everything. The saint smiled and said, "I saw your angel working. He was exhausted, but happy. You are alive because of him." The man asked why he had never noticed these interventions before. Padre Pio responded with a question that marked him forever. How many times have you thanked your guardian angel in recent years? The man admitted he never had. He hadn't even thought about his guardian angel since childhood. Padre Pio then explained something that would change that man's life forever. Guardian angels, he said, work regardless of whether we are grateful or not. They protect us because that is the mission God gave them. But when we completely ignore them, when we never acknowledge them, when we live as if they don't exist, something happens. It's not that they stop protecting us, but communication becomes more difficult. It's like trying to talk to someone who wears headphones all the time. The message is being sent, but it's not being received. Padre Pio saw this constantly. People who received inspirations from their guardian angels and dismissed them as random thoughts. People who felt inner warnings and ignored them as senseless anxiety. People who had meaningful dreams and forgot them upon waking. And he saw the consequences, wrong decisions that could have been avoided, destructive relationships that the angels tried to prevent, perilous paths that were followed despite all the signs. Padre Pio told a story about a young woman who came to the confessional with a broken heart. She had just ended an abusive relationship that lasted for years. She suffered greatly. She lost time, health, self-esteem, and now she asked, why did God allow this to happen? Padre Pio, with his mystical vision, saw something she couldn't see. He saw all the signs that her guardian angel had sent before the relationship even began. The feeling of unease on the first date that she ignored, the dreams of warning that she dismissed as anxiety, the words of friends who tried to alert her, the strange coincidences that seemed to pull her away from that man. The angel had fought. He had done everything he could, but she was determined. She was in love, and she ignored every single sign. Padre Pio didn't say this to blame her. He said it so she would understand that she wasn't alone, that she had help available, and that, from then on, she could learn to listen better. That young woman left the confessional with a new perspective. She began to pay attention to the signs, and years later, when she found the right man, she recognized the signs of confirmation that her angel sent. This time, the peace she felt wasn't emotional blindness. It was celestial confirmation. Hold on, because now I'm going to tell you how Padre Pio described the ways guardian angels try to communicate with us. Padre Pio often explained that guardian angels communicate in many ways, but most people only recognize the most dramatic ones, ignoring the subtle nudges. The first way they communicate is through sudden thoughts. You're about to do something, and suddenly a thought pops into your head. Don't do that right now. Or, call Abigail. Or, double-check that valve. These thoughts that seem to come out of nowhere, especially when they have a tone of urgency or protection, are often promptings from your guardian angel. Padre Pio used to tell the story of a woman who was leaving for a trip. She had her suitcase in hand when she had a sudden thought. Check the oven. She almost ignored it because she was sure she had turned it off. But something made her go back. The oven was on. If she had left, her house would have burned down. When she told Padre Pio about this, he said, "Your angel was shouting. It's a good thing you listened that time." The second form of communication is through unexplained feelings, a sense of unease in a particular place, a reluctance to accept an invitation, a sudden peace amidst a difficult decision. These feelings that have no rational explanation are often your guardian angel, influencing your emotions to guide you. Padre Pio knew a young man named Benjamin who was about to accept a job that seemed perfect. Great salary, good position, reputable company. But every time he thought about accepting it, he felt a weight in his chest. There was no logical reason for it. Everything seemed right. He consulted Padre Pio, who told him to pay attention to that feeling. The young man turned down the job, to the astonishment of everyone. Months later, the company was exposed in a fraud scheme. All the employees were investigated. Some were arrested. Benjamin would have been one of them. Padre Pio told him, "Your angel knew what you couldn't know and found a way to warn you. The third way your guardian angel may communicate is through meaningful coincidences. You're thinking about someone, and that person calls. You need some information, and it appears unexpectedly. You're lost, and you find exactly who can help you." Padre Pio taught that there are no coincidences in the spiritual life. What we call coincidence is often the invisible orchestration of guardian angels, arranging encounters, information, and opportunities. There was a pilgrim in San Giovanni Rotondo who was in deep financial crisis. She hadn't told anyone. She was praying silently in the church when a stranger approached and, without explanation, handed her an envelope. Inside was exactly the amount she needed to resolve her situation. When she told Padre Pio, he explained, "Your guardian angel spoke to the guardian angel of that man. The two of them arranged the meeting. You were not alone in your prayers." The fourth way guardian angels communicate is through dreams. Padre Pio placed great importance on certain dreams, especially those that had a different quality, a clarity and intensity that distinguished them from ordinary dreams. He said that guardian angels often use the moment of sleep to transmit messages because that's when the rational mind is quiet and the soul is more receptive. Dreams with warnings, dreams with guidance, dreams with deceased people bringing messages. Padre Pio saw all of this as possible angelic communication. But he also warned, not every dream is from your angel. Discernment is needed. Angelic dreams generally bring peace. Even when they bring warnings, they leave a lasting impression, and they usually point to something concrete that needs to be done or avoided. The fifth form of communication is the most direct and the most rare, the tangible perception of the angel's presence. Some people, in moments of great danger or great grace, physically feel the presence of their guardian angel, a sensation of not being alone, an inexplicable warmth or light, an inner voice that is clearly different from your own thoughts. Padre Pio experienced this constantly, but he said that anyone can have this experience, especially in times of crisis. The problem is that many dismiss these experiences as imagination or coincidence. There was a soldier who had fought in World War II. He came to Padre Pio years after the conflict, still disturbed by something that happened in combat. He was in a trench when he clearly heard a voice that said, "Get out now." It wasn't any of his comrades. It was a voice that seemed to come from inside his head, but it was different from his own thoughts. He obeyed by instinct. He left the trench and ran to another position. Seconds later, a bomb hit exactly where he had been. All his comrades died. He was the only survivor of that platoon. For years, he wondered if he had imagined the voice, if it was some kind of animal instinct. If it was coincidence, Padre Pio heard his story and said with absolute certainty, "It was your guardian angel. He shouted because you needed to hear, and you listened." The soldier wept. Years of guilt for having survived dissolved in that moment. He had not been saved by accident. He had been saved by divine intervention. And his comrades who died, Padre Pio explained, also had their angels. The eternal destiny of each of them was determined by their own souls, not by the chance of war. This perspective on life and death transformed that man. He began to live not as a lucky survivor, but as someone who had received a second chance for a reason. And here's what Padre Pio revealed about what happens when we systematically ignore these communications. The guardian angels, he explained, do not give up. They keep trying, but when we are consistently deaf to the subtle forms of communication, they sometimes have to use more drastic forms, and these more drastic forms are not always pleasant. Padre Pio told about a man who ignored all the inspirations of his guardian angel. He had a life of sin that he didn't want to abandon. His angel tried in every way: thoughts, feelings, coincidences, dreams. Nothing worked. The man was determined to continue his path. Then came the illness, a serious illness that put him in bed for months. And in that period of forced immobility, without the usual distractions, he finally heard, he finally converted, he finally changed his life. When he came to Padre Pio years later, he asked if the illness had been a punishment. Padre Pio said, "It was not a punishment. It was your guardian angel using the last resort available. He preferred you sick and saved to healthy and lost." This revelation was disturbing to many. The idea that some diseases, some accidents, some failures may be angelic interventions to divert us from worse paths. Padre Pio didn't say that every disease was that, just that it could be something to consider, to be aware of, but he would say that some were, and that we should examine our trials with spiritual eyes, asking what God and our guardian angel are trying to tell us. Padre Pio also revealed something even deeper about the relationship between us and our guardian angels. He said that the guardian angel knows us better than we know ourselves. They've been with us since the moment of conception. They know every thought we've ever had, every emotion we've ever felt, every decision we've ever made, and more. The guardian angel knows what God's plan is for our life. They know our eternal destiny if we cooperate with grace, and they work tirelessly to help us realize that destiny. When we ignore our guardian angel, we're ignoring the only being besides God who perfectly knows the path we should follow. It's like having a perfect GPS and insisting on getting lost. Padre Pio would use a comparison that helped people understand the importance of this relationship. Imagine, he'd say, that you're in a dark room, surrounded by dangerous obstacles. You can't see anything, but there's someone next to you who can see perfectly in the dark. This person tries to guide you, whispering directions. Go to the left. Watch out for the step. Stop now. If you ignore this voice and insist on walking alone in the dark, you're going to get hurt, not because the person stopped helping, but because you refused their help. That's our situation in this world, Padre Pio explained. We are in a dark room called earthly life. We can't see the spiritual dangers that surround us. We can't see the path that leads to salvation. But we have a guide who sees everything. And this guide never stops trying to help us, even when we ignore them repeatedly. The difference is that, unlike a human being who might give up on us, the guardian angel never gives up. Their patience is superhuman. Their dedication is eternal. They will continue trying until the very last second of our earthly life. Padre Pio had a special devotion to his own guardian angel, whom he called the companion of my childhood. They would talk like friends. Padre Pio would send messages through his angel to people far away, and his angel would bring him information about the needs of his spiritual children all over the world. There were people who would write letters to Padre Pio asking for prayers. Before the letters even physically arrived in San Giovanni Rotondo, Padre Pio already knew their contents. His guardian angel had received the information from the guardian angel of the sender. Padre Pio encouraged everyone to develop this relationship with their angels. He'd say, "Talk to your angel, they are listening. Ask for their help. They are waiting to be asked. Thank them for their protection. They deserve recognition." And he gave practical instructions that I'm going to share with you now. First, Padre Pio recommended greeting your guardian angel when you wake up, before any other prayer. A simple, "Good morning, my guardian angel. Thank you for protecting me during the night. Accompany me and guide me today." This simple habit, he explained, opens a channel of communication. It establishes a conscious connection that facilitates all other forms of communication throughout the day. Second, Padre Pio recommended asking for the angel's help in specific situations, not just generic protection, but concrete help. I need to find a solution to this problem. Help me say the right words in this conversation. Protect me on this trip. Angels, he explained, can help with very practical things. They aren't limited to strictly spiritual matters. Padre Pio would ask his angel for help with everyday things and receive that help regularly. Third, Padre Pio recommended paying attention to sudden inspirations. When a thought of protection or guidance arises seemingly from nowhere, don't automatically dismiss it. Ask yourself, could this be my angel trying to tell me something? Not every sudden inspiration is angelic, but developing the habit of considering this possibility makes us more attuned to genuine communications. Fourth, Padre Pio encouraged sending your guardian angel on missions. This was one of his most characteristic practices. He would say to people, send your angel ahead. If you're going to a difficult meeting, send your angel ahead to prepare the way. If you need someone to receive a message, ask your angel to speak with that person's angel. Padre Pio did this constantly, and the results were visible. Meetings that were supposed to be conflict-ridden became harmonious. People would change their attitude without any apparent explanation. Closed doors would open mysteriously. A lawyer came to Padre Pio with a difficult case. He needed to convince a judge who seemed completely closed to his arguments. All legal attempts had failed. Padre Pio instructed him to send his guardian angel before the next hearing, asking him to speak with the judge's angel. The lawyer did this the night before. At the hearing, something unexplainable happened. The judge, who had previously seemed hostile, suddenly showed himself open to reconsider. The case had a favorable outcome that no one expected. The lawyer returned to San Giovanni Rotondo to give thanks. Padre Pio smiled and said, "The angels spoke, and they reached an agreement." Fifth, Padre Pio recommended thanking your guardian angel regularly, especially before going to sleep. Review the day and identify moments when the angel might have intervened. Give thanks for protections that we perceived and for those that we didn't even realize. This gratitude, he explained, strengthens the connection. Angels don't need our gratitude to continue working, but our gratitude makes us more receptive to their work. And there was something else that Padre Pio taught about the relationship with the guardian angels of other people. He said that we can ask our angel to communicate with another person's angel. If we have a difficult relationship with someone, we can ask the angels to prepare the ground for reconciliation. If we want to help someone who is far away, we can send our angel to accompany that person's angel. A mother came to Padre Pio desperate because her teenage son was drifting away from the faith and getting into bad company. Padre Pio instructed her to speak daily with her son's guardian angel. Not just pray for her son, but specifically ask his angel to protect him and inspire him. The mother followed the guidance faithfully. In a few weeks, the son began to change. There wasn't a dramatic conversion, but a series of small choices that gradually distanced him from the bad influences and brought him back. The guardian angel, strengthened by the mother's prayers, had managed to be heard. This story reveals something important about how prayers work in the angelic world. When we pray for another person's guardian angel, we aren't giving power to the angel. The power comes from God, but our prayers, they create an opening, a break, in the other person's free will that allows their guardian angel to act in ways that were previously blocked. Padre Pio explained it this way: the guardian angel respects free will. He cannot force anyone to do anything, but when someone prays for you, it creates a kind of spiritual permission slip. It's as if the prayer is saying to the angel, this person may not be asking for help, but I'm asking for them. Use this. This understanding It transformed the way many people prayed for their loved ones. Instead of just asking God to convert them, they began to specifically ask that their loved ones' guardian angels be strengthened and empowered to act. A grandmother, Eleanor, came to Padre Pio, deeply worried about her grandson, Michael, who had completely abandoned his faith. He no longer went to church, lived in a way contrary to Catholic teachings, and refused to listen to any religious advice. Padre Pio instructed her to pray every day to Michael's guardian angel, not so that the angel would force him to do anything, but so that the angel would find openings, moments of reflection, opportunities to touch his heart. Eleanor did this faithfully on for 2 years. Nothing seemed to change, but she continued, and then, one day, Michael appeared at her door, crying, begging to talk about God. Something happened, he said. He couldn't explain it, but he suddenly felt an urgent need to change his life. Padre Pio, when he heard about it, told Eleanor, "Your angel has been talking to his angel for 2 years, and they finally found a crack. Your prayers were not in vain, not a single one." Padre Pio also revealed something about the hierarchy of angels and how that affects their abilities. Not all guardian angels are equal in power and authority. Some have more important missions and receive more celestial resources to accomplish them. He saw that certain people had particularly powerful angels, usually because they had special missions in this life. But even people with less powerful angels had enough protection for everything they needed. The important thing, Padre Pio emphasized, was not the power of the angel, but the receptivity of the person. An angel with less power, with a receptive person, could accomplish more than a powerful angel with someone who was deaf to celestial communications. There was a famous episode in San Giovanni Rotondo that illustrated the real power of guardian angels. One night, demons violently attacked Padre Pio's room. The noises were terrible. The brothers heard crashes, screams, sounds of fighting. When they entered the room, they found Padre Pio, injured but at peace. He explained that the demons had come in great numbers, but his guardian angel had won the battle. And he said something that stuck with the brothers. If you could see the battle that takes place in the spiritual world at every moment, you would understand why we owe so much to our angels. Padre Pio saw these battles constantly. He saw demons trying to influence people and guardian angels resisting. He saw the superhuman effort that angels make to protect us, not only from physical dangers, but from spiritual dangers that are much more serious. And he saw the sadness of the angels when they were ignored. Padre Pio described this sadness in a moving way. The angels, he said, they do not suffer as we do, but there is something in the angelic nature that becomes saddened when they see the people they love and protect treat them as non-existent. Imagine working tirelessly for someone who doesn't even recognize your existence, who never says thank you, who ignores all your efforts. That's what we do to our angels when we live as if they don't exist. Padre Pio told of a vision he once had. He saw a crowd of guardian angels, radiant with light, each one beside a person. But the people walked, looking at the ground, completely absorbed in their earthly worries, never raising their eyes to see the glory that accompanied them. Some angels tried to get the attention of their protected people. They touched their spiritual shoulders. They whispered in their inner ears. They created opportunities to be perceived, but most people remained deaf and blind. Padre Pio wept as he described this vision. He wept for the loneliness of the angels, and he wept for the lost opportunities of the people who could have had so much more if they had only paid attention. There was something else that Padre Pio revealed about the eternal destiny of guardian angels. He taught that, in heaven, our guardian angel will be with us forever. The temporary mission of protecting us on earth will be transformed into an eternal companionship of joy. All the work that the angel has done for us will be celebrated. All the protection, all the guidance, all the effort will be seen with clarity. And at that moment, Padre Pio said, "We will finally understand everything. We will see every intervention the angel made, every accident avoided, every decision inspired, every sin from which we were protected, and we will weep with gratitude to see how much we owe to this being who worked silently for us throughout our earthly life." On the other hand, Padre Pio warned, those who are eternally lost will not have the company of their angels. The guardian angel of a damned soul suffers, in a way, a sadness that lasts forever. It is not suffering like ours, but it is something in the angelic nature that is saddened by the loss of that soul that he loved and protected. This teaching, it moved people deeply. The idea that your guardian angel cares so much that your salvation or damnation permanently affects a celestial being created a new motivation to live well, not just for one's own sake, but also for the angel who works so hard for us. Padre Pio encouraged people to think about this when faced with temptations. "Remember your angel," he said. "Remember that he is fighting for you at this moment. Don't disappoint him." You've just learned profound truths about guardian angels that Padre Pio revealed throughout his ministry, truths that can transform your spiritual life, if you allow it. Each video like this requires research into the accounts of Padre Pio's brothers, the letters he wrote, the testimonies of those who knew him. It's a work of bringing to light spiritual practices that can reconnect you with the celestial protection that is already yours. If these truths about guardian angels have touched your heart, the super thanks button below is a way for you to participate in this mission. It's not just financial support, it's you saying that these truths need to reach more people, that more Catholics need to rediscover their guardian angels. When you click that golden heart, you become an instrument to bring this message to more souls. Now, let me share what you can do today to reconnect with your guardian angel. First, take a pause right now and acknowledge his presence. Say in your heart or out loud, "My guardian angel, I know you are here. I know that your guardian angel is watching over you. Thank you for everything they've done for me, especially the things I never even knew about." Secondly, ask for forgiveness for your ignorance. If you've spent years or even decades without thinking about your guardian angel, acknowledge that. Say, "Forgive me for ignoring you. Forgive me for not paying attention to your signs. I want to change that from now on." Thirdly, establish a daily commitment. Choose a set time to speak with your guardian angel. It could be when you wake up and before you go to sleep, or both, and stick to that commitment, just like you would with anyone important in your life. Fourthly, start paying attention. When you have a sudden thought of protection or guidance, stop and consider it. When you feel an inexplicable reluctance or an unexpected peace, pay attention. When significant coincidences happen, give thanks. Fifthly, send your angel on missions. If you have a difficult situation coming up, send your angel ahead. If you want to help someone from a distance, ask your angel to work with that person's angel. Make your angel an active partner in your life. And sixth, recite the traditional prayer to your guardian angel, the one we learned as children, and many have forgotten. "Angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom God's love commits me here, ever this day, be at my side, to light and guard, to rule and guide." Amen. Pray it consciously, not just as an empty formula. Padre Pio promised that anyone who develops a true relationship with their guardian angel will see a difference. Not necessarily visions or voices, but a more noticeable protection, a clearer guidance, a peace that comes from knowing we are not alone. because you are not alone. You never have been. From the moment you were conceived, a being of light and power was assigned to watch over you. And they are there, right now, waiting to be recognized. Now, I need to hear from you. Team talks to their guardian angel versus team didn't even remember they had one. Which one are you? If you already have the habit of communicating with your angel, tell us what it's like. Tell us about the signs you notice. Tell us about the protections you've recognized. And if you're going to start paying attention from now on, tell us that too. Tell us what your first step will be. Tell us what you're going to say to your angel today. Your public commitment may be exactly the incentive you need to actually do it. Padre Pio said that the guardian angel is the most faithful friend we have in this life. They are with us in every moment. They defend us in every battle. They guide us in every decision, not because we are worthy of it, but because God, in His infinite mercy, wanted us to never be alone. Honor that gift, recognize that celestial companion, and allow them to do for you everything they're waiting to do. Pray, hope, and don't worry. Worry is useless. God is merciful, and He will hear your prayer. May Saint Padre Pio intercede for you. May your guardian angels strengthen their protection, and may you never again ignore the signs of the one who was designated by God Himself to take care of you. May the grace of God be with you. Amen.